What is going on, everybody? Jim here. Got a really cool video for you guys today. Really good gameplay, actually, by me in squad battle. I was really shocked I actually pulled off such a great performance. So we're going to have that as the background today, but we're going to actually be talking about the Yappening 2. Yes, the Yappening is returning, and I'm super excited. I cannot wait to check it out. Now, it will go live this coming Tuesday. I'm actually recording this on Sunday the 31st, but I know it's coming. We got to talk about it. But before I do, if you like the content, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel. It's super easy. I'm posting tons of videos, and just come and hang out with me, all right? I'd appreciate it. So, the Yappening 2. We got a little bit of a teaser trailer that came out last week. We knew that kind of the current Halo model of them doing these kind of mini events. We knew this was already on the radar. This was something that was announced back when we got the content update 27 or 29 or whatever the goofy name was, when they announced they were going to ditch the idea of a more distinct season pass and instead go to these smaller events that they were going to be doing. So we're up to the next one now. Cyber Showdown is wrapping up. We're going to be transitioning over to the Yappening, and that will include a slew of new upgrades, and if it's anything like last time, login bonuses and some pretty zany game modes to go along with it. So if you were like me and you were a huge fan of Yabda the Merciless, who was the original kind of grunt announcer way back in Halo 5 Guardians, well, he has since been murdered and or retired. I suspect a lot of you guys probably use the Spartan Buck voice pack, or maybe even 031 Exuberant Witness, which were both great as well. I always liked Yabda. I thought he was just so great. Well, obviously he's taken a back seat. If you play the Halo Infinite campaign, you'll definitely come across one of the banished radio transmissions run by a rogue Unggoy named Flip Flop. He's back. He is still around, and he is up to his traditional hijinks again this season. The trailer features him firing up the old radio once again and getting ready to talk major trash to you and all other Spartans trying to compete for fortune and glory in your respective battle pass, which is really kind of cool. They've already announced a few small things that they're going to do with it. 343 is continuing the idea of you completing the weekly challenges for the ability to buy the Halo Gear Rewards pin to go along with the reward. Now, I haven't picked up any of these pins. These are the pins, if you recall, that if you go to the site without the official pre-order code, they're going to set you back $117,343. Obviously, sacred numbers to any Halo fan. But once you complete the challenge, they'll give you a code, and it'll drop the price significantly. I want to say it's like 15 bucks or maybe 20 bucks. I'm not entirely sure. But they do have a really cool Yappening 2 limited edition pin of Flip Flop showing off everything. Actually, I'm reading the pin description here, and it says it's actually Yap. So there's actually a pool of Unggoy. This is a fun little lore tangent. There's apparently a pool of Unggoy who can man the radio. You have Flip Flop. Obviously, you had Yabda back in Halo 5, and now you have Yap. And I love that the way they talk. They're just kind of goofy. They talk a lot of trash, but you know Unggoy, they're the little weasels. They're the little ground troops. They're the fodder that you basically just one-shot as you march down the halls with your machine gun, just raising hell, right? So it's so funny to think of one of them gaining such a distinct personality. But they typically speak in very childlike English. They have a very basic grasp of kind of the world and the understanding. So them being like part of the lore and actually like evolving into the like this radio host or this tool for propaganda is absolutely hysterical to think that that actually does exist in some capacity. So Anyways, that is kind of one of the first things going on. Now, if it follows from last year, we don't have an official blog post yet on Halo Waypoint, but they'll put out a funny little blog post talking about how long the event's going to last. It'll be written in the voice of the respective Unggoy, who's actually running the event, so it'll be very goofy and kind of making fun of you and just kind of, you know, nonsensical about the event. And they also had some login bonuses last time. The first go-round they had for this, they had the really cool, it kind of looked like the Barack Obama campaign slogan, if you recall that, where it used to just say Obama at the bottom. This one is a picture of an elite and it said WORT, W-O-R-T, like, you know, work, which I thought was awesome. It's a great little tag. It's actually on one of my guns. I don't think you'll see it today on this gameplay video, but keep an eye out. You might find it. You might find it in one of my other videos. That was just a login bonus for participating, so I suspect they'll probably do something similar to that. Although now that they have kind of transitioned over into this is kind of like the event rather than a tangential event to the traditional battle pass. I'm not really sure what the login bonuses will be, but as with everything, there's some really great data miners who have already gone through and have done all the research and have found everything for the Yappening 2. It is completely posted on Reddit. You can see the entire battle pass in its entirety with the levels and how long it's going to last. And I'm looking through it now, and you have your traditional backdrops and you have your traditional emblems. They do have some weapon charms this time. They're bringing back the Yapster, obviously, in you know, celebrating Yap Yap, the kind of the original from Halo Infinite, right? Which I think is really, really cool as well. They also have some really cool weapon charms. So the weapon charm this time is going to be the Grunt Ball. They also have various kind of propaganda pieces, whether they be emblems or banners or whatever, of like grunts crossing their arms or like leaning into a microphone and screaming, which I think is a ton of fun as well. And then you have your traditional armor pieces as well. You know, you'll get your full set. Unfortunately, just like the other events that we've seen so far, they do unfortunately continue the drip feed. So, for example, level 19, you're going to pick up like the shoulder pads, and then level 20, you'll pick up like the chest pad. They really spread it out. You will get a full set by the time it's said and done, but they are definitely spreading it out just like they kind of have done in the past. They're going to sprinkle in some XP boosts as well, and some other various coatings. But, you know, for like quote-unquote free, obviously it's kind of got this free-to-play model. If you don't pay for that premium battle pass, which I have not lately, you do miss out on that final challenge slot, which takes you a little longer to grind for your weekly reward, but it's not too bad. You're just not going to be able to quadruple dip. And let me tell you, quadruple dipping on a challenge is like the highlight of any paid person, any paid battle pass life. Obviously, the battle passes themselves have gotten significantly easier since the launch. I mean, do you guys remember the days of like getting 10 kills with a Scorpion or getting 3 headshots with a needle? I mean, just like really goofy stuff. Thank God they've kind of phased a lot of that nonsense out, and they've kind of, you know, made it just like play a game or have a pulse or log in, which is fine. Obviously, they're transitioning away from some of those really goofy challenges, which really ruin the flow of the game. But I'm very, very excited. You know, I think there's a lot of really cool stuff that they're doing here, and I always felt like the Yappening event specifically was just so fun because it was just so like out there. Like everything about Halo is typically like doom and gloom and serious. And I mean, if you just finished reading, you know, Epitaph in the book, or you're just familiar with the lore and like kind of the state of Halo, like it's not a great time to be UNSC, right? You know, we're losing the war, so to speak. The Banished are very powerful. We lost Cortana. You know, we're doing disarray, that sort of thing. So it's really kind of fun to have an event where it's just kind of like, hey, we're going to play a bunch of Super Fiesta. We're going to have a big methane party. And there's going to be methane explosions and methane fireworks. We're just going to have a hoot and play. I love that. It kind of takes some of the levity. Now, if you don't care about the lore, it probably doesn't mean as much to you. But for somebody like me who's very interested in kind of what's going on, this is a kind of fun, like, more silly, goofy event. And I think that is great when you kind of couple it with some of the other great events that Halo has going on right now. Obviously, with like Cyber Showdown and that sort of thing, like Lone Wolves, this is a little more, you know, whatever. But I think this is going to be a lot of fun. I think they've learned a lot from their, you know, I think they've learned a lot from their previous battle passes, and I think they've learned a lot in how to, you know, it is still drip fed, but at least you're not like unlocking just the left shoulder one battle pass level and then just the right shoulder the next. Like, they've gotten better about it, and I think 343 is in a great place, especially with that big update that just came out with you know, a little bit more refined gameplay and better pings and better performance overall in the game. So I think the greatest thing about this game just continues to get better with Cyber Showdown 3 firmly in our rearview mirror now. We're all going to focus on the Yappening 2, and I will absolutely be streaming and talking about it when it comes out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care of yourselves, and until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.